going on, everybody? This is Jeff from Altcoin Buzz. Today we are going to talk about the economic situation in the United States and globally, how things are shaping up, what we can keep in mind as cryptocurrency investors, what we're seeing, and kind of, just keep an eye on just the developments, right? So right now, as we all know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that the market is flat. This is a no volatility market, stagnant, right? Now, in the real economy that exists today, the currency that exists today, the dollar, right? We are seeing volatility and we are starting to see some signs of a looming recession, and that makes everyone think, well, how can I become recession proof, right? Because the saying is that during a recession, some people get very rich, like people who are not in a good situation, but they have cash on hand, can all of a sudden capitalize on, when there's blood on the street, so to speak, right? And if you've got cash on hand, you could be in that situation, especially if, let's just say, you are holding cryptocurrency and for whatever reason, as the recession in the United States and globally started to occur, and all of a sudden people start saying, well, I'm going to put my money into Bitcoin. Okay. Now, the other hedge to that would be gold and silver, and that's where the old timers, that's where they say that the money is going to go. They say it's going to go into precious metals, gold and silver. And if we keep an eye on this, you can see silver it's not really moving. Gold and silver aren't really moving up. Also, if you guys haven't already, you can check out my new channel called JJ Talks, where I did dive more into the recession or the correction. So this is a brand new channel. It's called JJ Talks. I'll leave a link below to it, but this is where I don't talk about cryptocurrency. Only I talk about a whole wide variety of different things. And in this particular video, I did go more into the recession or correction. But I wanted to say that gold price with gold and silver, we haven't really seen any movement, but as the economy started to downturn in 2006, 2007, 2008, we watched those prices fluctuate, right? Kind of shoot up. You can see it right here, right? So it was running flat. This is why you see markets run flat. You can never count them out because run-ups do happen. Look at where it was in 2003. It was below $500, and then it shot up to $1,500, or actually almost to $2,000. Silver actually shot up quite a bit. I'm actually thinking about getting some more silver. I don't hold too much silver, but I'm thinking about getting silver as another hedge. Not too much. I still hold a lot of cryptocurrency. Well, not a lot. I'm not, actually, it's probably not a lot by many comparisons. But I do hold, my little nest egg of wealth in Bitcoin and some altcoins. But, this is something to keep an eye on. If you're trying to become recession proof, you'd have to say, where would people start sending their money? If the dollar started to look like it was going to be collapsing, what are they going to put it into the Forex market, pump it into China and say, oh, China saved the day? I don't know, maybe. Is the yuan the safe place? Right? We've seen some interesting activity between China and Japan, but I don't know if that indicates anything to say that the Chinese economy is recession-proof, although they are definitely an emerging economy as the United States continues to go through all of its turmoil. As the United States and the Western world bicker and fight, you've got Asia coming together like you've never seen before. Japan and China are shaking hands, meeting and greeting, and trying to make friends. North and South Korea making friends again. So it looks like things are coming together in Asia and things are falling apart at the seams in the Western world and the United States. Just look at the Democrats and the Republicans. They can't even get along, right? So who knows? Maybe Asia is a more stable place to put your money in that event. But right now, it would seem that gold and silver would be the obvious choice, especially for the older people. But maybe you could get some real hysteria or real excitement behind Bitcoin, right? And so that's where we go back to this whole discussion. Bitcoin will replace gold and soar in price to $700,000 per Bitcoin, says major investor. This was written back in April, but that this has been part of the dialogue that's existed. Bitcoin is better than gold on every front and could eventually be worth around $700,000, okay? Now, does that mean that it's definitely going to happen? Well, according to the Independent, who or CNBC, who interviewed this guy in this video, you can come on here and watch it. It's on the Independent. But and why would someone say something like that? Well, you can always mine more gold and silver. Right now, it's for people to mine gold and silver. It's not really profitable. You pretty much break even, right? But back in 2008, 2009, it was really profitable to go mine gold and silver. So people were going up to Alaska, and you saw all the shows on History Channel and whatnot. People were doing that. Well, with Bitcoin, there is scarcity, and there's only a certain amount that will ever be created, right? 21 million. So that is something to definitely keep in mind about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I mean, the idea that it could be another cryptocurrency, that's always on the table, especially you want to talk about people being at odds end. Look at what's happened to Bitcoin. Supposedly Satoshi, Craig Wright, who's just really just gone crazy almost. I mean, he might sound sane, and he sounds like he's got some pretty good ideas. And yeah, you can listen to Craig Wright and learn some things. But at the end of the day, he's a cannon. He's a loose cannon. Now, then again, what successful person in history was not a loose cannon? Not to say that Craig Wright should be a loose cannon, but like they've said, if Craig Wright really is Satoshi, this is what Roger Ver said, and he was quoting someone else, but they said if Craig Wright is Satoshi, then the opinion of Satoshi being a genius goes down, not their opinion of Craig Wright improves. So people don't think more highly of Craig Wright if he is Satoshi. They think less highly of Satoshi if Craig Wright is Satoshi. And so if that's the case, then what's happening with Bitcoin ABC, Satoshi's Vision, and then you have Bitcoin Core, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Gold, all these forks. It's kind of scary to see what's happening with Bitcoin. So then you'd have to say, well, who's the stable coin? Who's the stable cryptocurrency out of all these? And then you start thinking about, well, I haven't really heard too much crazy stuff coming out of Ethereum's corner, right? What about XRP? I haven't really heard too much crazy stuff happening there. I mean, they're run like a corporation. They're fairly centralized. But then again, so is Bitcoin. If Craig Wright actually owns 1 million of them, and then, the Winklevoss twins have the other portion of it. So it's like, well, if all the money goes into the Winklevoss or Bitcoin, then the Winklevoss twins and Craig Wright all of a sudden become billionaires because Craig Wright claims to hold over 1 million coins. Whether that's true or not, we don't know. But then you have to start thinking about Stellar, EOS, Litecoin. This is where Litecoin gets really interesting, because if there was ever a coin that was not centralized, right, Charlie Lee sold all of his coins. So that's something to keep in mind about Litecoin. Like, Litecoin all of a sudden looks like a rock star in that situation. So we've got a lot of interesting stuff happening here. You've got Binance Coin. That's a whole nother subject all in of itself. Craig Wright says stay the heck away from privacy coins, but you got Dash. Craig Wright says stay away from every coin, actually. That's an altcoin and not a Bitcoin brand name. But like I said, we have to start this discussion, and we have to think about this from a rational position. Is in a dollar meltdown, so to speak, or hyperinflation or something like that, where do people start transitioning their wealth really quickly? Are they going to go out and buy physical hard gold and silver, or are they going to go out and buy Bitcoin or Ethereum or something like this? And this is where we need to be putting our minds, because this is real. This is a real potential. Is the economic collapse happening today? I'm not going to say that, but could it happen today? It could. Could it happen in 2019? It could. Could it happen in 2020? And, if you follow Peter Schiff, he says it is, he says it's coming. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And he says it's going to, but then again, he's been calling for an economic collapse for almost 10 years now. So, at some point he's going to be right? I mean, 0 out of 10, he's 0 out of 10, but I mean, if we just follow market cycles, I mean, heck, we could look at cryptocurrency's market cycle, and, you could see these crocodile teeth, right? So, I mean, yeah, that happens. Up, down, right? Anyways, guys, if you're new here, you can subscribe to Altcoin Buzz. Also, you can check out my new channel, JJ Talks. I do have that new video over there, Recession or Correction, where I talk about that more in detail, just non-crypto related. If you guys like listening to me and other outside of crypto, that's where you catch up with me. I am talking about other things over there.